guess we'll get started. We had a little technical difficulties, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Welcome back to Unprofessional Opinion. Thank you for coming back. Last week was pretty successful, I think. Mm-hmm. It was good.
It was a good conversation.
Great conversation.
So, this week, I'm Melody.
I'm Rashard.
And welcome to Unprofessional Opinion.
And welcome back to the studio. So, I still don't have a name, but we'll get to the name. Yeah.
First, we want to shout out. We tried to pin it, but it wasn't working. But we wanted to shout out our sponsors, Drip Scent and Niece Lauren. Both are having promotional sales that's going on currently. So we will tag both, and we will also tag the discount code for Drip Scent.
Working on one with Niece Lauren. Mm-hmm. But definitely appreciate everything that they do for us, and we'll continue to support them no matter what.
Yes, and if you haven't already, please go to our YouTube page. It's Shar and Mel's Unprofessional Opinion. Like and subscribe.
Yes.
We appreciate it. You guys have been doing that. Keep doing that. And we left off last week. We started talking about love, and we talked about how we met and our first date. So we decided to be a little fancy and get a little, during quarantine fancy. It's a little different than regular fancy.
It definitely is.
So we got our little grapes, wine, cheese, and crackers, and we got champagne because we want to toast to the fact that we reached 500 followers, and this just started.
Thank you.
A month ago. So we appreciate y'all sharing the word and helping us out.
So just try to keep climbing, keep working, and hopefully we put out a product that everybody is actually learning from. I think.
Or if you're not learning, just using the stuff that you already knew, the tools that you already had. So first we want to say
thank you.
And cheers
to
you guys for making this fun.
Yes. And not only that, tonight we want to set the mood, right?
Yeah.
So we want you to get in a mind frame. Just imagine you had a night with your significant other, and you want, it's the next day. You want to just have breakfast, and so we made the next day beverage.
We made an Unprofessional Opinion mimosa.
She named it.
Yeah.
She named it.
Our version of the mimosa.
And it has got a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah, it's always going to be stronger than the regular version of a mimosa.
Definitely. Great drink. I'm loving it. She came up with it. It's her idea. So, we want to set that mood. Make sure everybody know, look, this is the mood we're in. We're going to talk about love tonight. Mm-hmm. I hope everybody caught the picture that we put up from last week from that 7-year itch and how we talked about it. And if you looked at that picture, you can see there was definitely friction there, right? And
that picture.
Yeah, and that's why we posted. I was like, this is a good idea to post this picture because we can see the friction. You can see and just to see where we came from. Mm-hmm. And I posted that, and I got a pretty good response. Some people said they did see it. They did see the friction, even though I think we hit it well.
Hi Wayne, how's Guam?
He's in Guam. I was just about to say that. Man, I wish he was closer. But without further ado, like I said, last week was 7-year itch. This week we're gonna talk about love. We're gonna get right into that.
But I got a question for you guys before we put out the question that was asked to us. Since we're talking about love, what's your favorite group? Is it 112 or Jagged Edge? I need y'all to vote on that. I got Jagged Edge. I love them both, but I got Jagged Edge. We argue about this all the time.
112.
Yeah.
Cupid. Hands down. Come on, man.
All right, so that was the question I have for you guys. The question that we received was from last week. We told y'all we left off that we went on 3 dates in the first week.
Yes.
So the question that we got was it love at first sight? You go first.
It was something else at first sight. I can tell I didn't know she liked me, so I can't say it was love at first sight. But I think maybe around the second or third date when we started hanging out, and we were just like friends. You know, I didn't know if she liked me in that way. Thought she just was using me because I was a reason for her to get out. Is that true?
Using you?
Yeah.
I lived in LA. If I'm using a dude that didn't have
nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. So
I was taught better than that. If I'm going to use.
But I don't know if she liked me.
I'm a dig for gold. I'm not going to dig for nuggets.
God, here we go. So I didn't
for coal.
I didn't know. So what I did was, eventually, she kind of came around. I think she started liking me a little more than I liked her, or vice versa. I liked her more than I thought she liked me, and eventually she came around, and I asked her, you want to be serious? I was all courteous about it, which is I'm gonna try to teach my kids to do. Don't laugh. Because you know what? You would want your daughter to meet a guy like me. So, to answer the question...
Answer it honestly.
Yes.
There's no
definitely.
right or wrong answer.
That's the answer.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
but there are stipulations.
For me, was it love at first sight?
Hell yeah.
No.
What?
It was love during the first week, but I kept telling myself the whole time, like I just kept feeling it each time we went out. I'm like, I felt stronger and stronger, because for me it can't be just attraction. I felt like I thought he was very handsome. He had all the qualities I liked. The way he spoke, we had good conversation, but I needed more. Like, I really can't I don't have crushes because I have to be able to talk to somebody before I know if I develop a crush. So each date that we went on, I felt like I was falling more and more into love, and it scared me because I came from...
She couldn't believe it was true.
I met him...
God do exist on Earth.
I met him during a time where I had to teach myself how to be vulnerable. I had to, I was really guarded. I met him during the time, it was dark. My life was dark at the time that I met him. I was sad. I was angry. I didn't trust people. So he really had to basically chip at a little stone every time we met. So he taught me how to be vulnerable. Like, I was listening today to Erykah Badu, Bag Lady, and that, she wrote that song years after we met, but that was me. I really had to let go of some baggage.
Frankie Beverly.
I had to let go of some baggage in order to be able to get to the point where I was able to fully love him. So yes, I was falling in love with him, but before I can get to the point where I was able to be loved and able to understand what he was trying to provide, I had to really open up. So that took some time, but it was fun. And I just kept telling myself, I would have to have pep talks with myself, like, he's nice to you because he's a nice guy. He's not nice to you because he's gonna,
my family sold
he's not being nice to you because he's beating around the bush. Like, I had if you know my dad was like a real we had a good relationship, but at that point it wasn't so good, but we had it developed into a really good relationship. But at that point it was hard for me to even get in contact with him, to even say hello to him. Because we was all people were grieving.
Lots of hot in there.
Yeah, people were grieving, but because my mom had passed, but they were grieving. Adults were grieving in a way, and they didn't know how to interact with the children. So Shar didn't know any of this. He just coming, we having fun, and we enjoying each other. He, I had all this going on inside, and I'm like, each day I had to just let him in a little by little. By what was going on with me, and he was able to understand. He was able to know okay, well, she's not surface. There's really something deep that's going on with her.
Oh yeah, she had so many. I mean, she still have layers I'm still peeling off. So
and also he took me to meet his mom the first week. I met his mom and I met his sister on the phone. 3-way conversation, but I met his mom and I went over for dinner the first week. And I knew he was talking to this girl. And I was just like, how long y'all been talking? And they had been talking for a couple of months. I'm like, did she meet your mom? He's like, no. And I was like, okay, well, keep talking to her because ain't no competition. So that was my story of, so it wasn't love at first week. At first sight, it was love at first week. And I did stutter, so I will take this shot.
That's a good definition. But as my brothers say, women are emotional. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, because we group us all together. Because you haven't met all women.
Ah, man, he is hilarious. I can't wait to have my brother on here. I love him. Wow. So, I thought we had another question.
No, that was the question.
I'm not blushing. I was just, it's hot in here. You know what I mean? Unprofessional studios. What do you want me to do?
So the first topic that we have is your words become your reality. So we had a lot of people ask, like, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm. They did. Definitely did.
And we like to we want to generalize it so that you can take your own meaning. Like if you want to, like when we put it out there, you guys can have conversations with your significant others or your friends and talk about what it means to you. But for us, I'll let you go, Sean, what it means.
Yeah, so what it means in our relationship, definitely. So when you believe it that you speak things into existence. So say you're having a negative time with your spouse, right? Me and Mel was having negative times, and my actions were, to be within the relationship, but my words were just tearing her, like it would speak to her in like a negative tone, so it didn't go with each other. It was two separate trains in the night, like we're missing each other. So I had every intent on one end to be here, and I'm talking. I'm saying another thing, like we should just figure out a way to just end this, right? Thank God that my actions didn't follow what I was saying and what I was thinking. So I didn't speak it into existence because I was speaking into existence, but I wasn't working on it. Thank God I wasn't. I want you guys to kind of picture your reality, the reality that you want to see with your spouse, right? I want you to take that and I want you guys to speak it into existence. I want you guys to sit on it, harp on it, and talk about it. For us, during that 7-year age period, once we start getting out of that period, and the reason why we wanted to just bring you along with the story, we started writing down goals and things that we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And one of the goals was we want to. You want me to say that part?
Go ahead.
One of the goals is like somebody mentioned earlier in our, I think a couple of weeks ago, how many times you have sex during a week. So one of the goals was something simple as that, right? And I'm like, man, there's no way, there's chafing involved. It's just like, God, you can't, it's impossible. But that was a small goal that we stuck to. We started talking about, we didn't talk about children, but we were talking about, we had a spare room in our house, and I was like, I'm gonna put hardwood floors in there. I'm gonna paint it. We're gonna put a TV in. It's gonna be a lounge. And God had a different plan.
Yeah, we put hardwood floors.
We did put hardwood floors in,
and it became a nursery.
Yeah, but He was preparing us, right? Preparing us for something greater. Mm-hmm. So, don't speak negative to your spouse. You wanna be in love with them. You know what I mean? And we're gonna talk to the definition of love, but that's what I have.
I feel like your words become your reality. Like everything that I have ever gotten that has been good for me, I've written it down. That's because when you write it down, that means that you believe that it's going to happen. You can pray all you want. You can pray all day, but slaves prayed for freedom. But Nat Turner got his freedom because he rebelled. So you have to do some type of work.
Yeah.
You have to do some type of work with that prayer. And my first step is writing it down, because I feel like if you can visualize something, I visualize I'm a visual thinker. So for me to be able to learn something, I have to write it down and I'll read it out loud. So I do positive affirmations. And once you can visualize it happening, even though you don't know or how it's going to happen, you just know that it's going to happen. Your body will take steps every day to make sure that it does happen. I would just continue reading what I wrote down. I told you guys previously, if you've been listening from the beginning, that I wrote a list before I met him, and that was even before.
And afterwards.
I wasn't even looking for a boyfriend at that time or a serious relationship, but I made a list of who I would want to spend the rest of my life with. At 16, and then at 17 I met him, and this year I wrote a list of things that's happening, and this year starting this podcast was on my list, and I'm like, wow, it's already happened. I thought that it was going to happen later this year, and then just like having my child, I used to write letters to Jaden.
Oh yeah, you remember those?
But there was
I remember those.
But you have to write down stuff, because when we were going through our 7-year itch, money wasn't right. The way we talked to each other wasn't right. Like every argument we would have, it would be like, "Well, do you want a divorce?"
Yeah.
Like throwing that word around. Like, why are you throwing divorce around? That's not something you should say unless you want a divorce.
Yeah.
So putting that out there, I had to learn. We talked to our mentors, and we had to learn, like, you don't put that on the table.
You gotta learn how to fight fair too.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Like you gotta, like when I say fight fair, you know your spouse is, you know how to hit below the belt. Mm-hmm. Don't even go near the belt. You know what I mean? Like Mel says, and most of my friends witnesses say some outlandish shit, but she knows certain things that I won't say, I won't hear. I won't let her get away with, right? And I'm pretty sure your spouse is the same way. Mm-hmm. And we just know where that line is, and we don't get near it. It's like, all right, I get it. Yeah. So you gotta learn how to fight fair.
I agree with what you said, Christina. That you made a very good point, and also I feel like you like I said, we write it down, and when I wanted to go back to that 7-year itch, when that was going on, like when we came out of it, it was daily things that we had to do. Like we had to reteach each other how to love one another. It was just like, he was like, you don't touch me the same. You don't,
Yeah, she was very, very cold.
I was cold because I was usually the more open one, and he had gotten cold. So then because I had to like, I told you in the beginning, I had to let go of my vulnerability and be able to trust. And when he withdrew from me, I learned to like, let me close up, because you're not gonna keep putting me down, because I'm too fragile. Like I worked on this. I'm too fragile, and I know that what I could have been. Because what I had when we first met, I had family members that would tell me that they could see, like I would have a smile on my face, but they said my eyes told the story of my unhappiness. And when I met him, I would come from California to Jersey every summer. And when I met him, I sat down at the table, and my cousin said, I don't know what's going on with you, but she said, for the first time, you look happy. From the first time since your mom passed at 13, you look happy. And she said, I feel like I can sleep at night. I don't know what it is, but I feel that peace, like I can sleep at night, because I've been praying for you because you look so sad. So during that 7-year itch, I felt myself getting to that point, so I had to close up, so that, because I didn't want to get back to where I was and being that unhappy. But what we started doing is, when we were building up to this point, even though that we weren't quite there, we started planning our vow renewal. Mm-hmm. We started planning our vow renewal, putting up money. We would save a certain portion of each check to pay for the vow renewal.
Flights?
Flights. We encouraged people. And we had out of nowhere, we had a family member that came to us and was like, here's this. And they gave us they gave us a gift, like a monetary gift. Here's this. Some put this on my heart that I should give this to you. You need this. And we were like, what? And so then we put down on the room and we
start building.
Started coming up with a plan. I got a dress. Our first wedding was a courthouse wedding. So our dream was always to have a destination wedding. So we started planning and have a dream, and it really like caused us to like really sit down, have conversations, and we really started
we started vibing crazy.
Yeah, we started really enjoying each other.
We realized that our goals were really aligned, and didn't even know it. They were like really aligned, like to the point, down to the small details of where we want to retire, things of that nature.
Yeah,
but
like did we want to live in the house that we were living in? Did we want to like
move, or did we want to?
Yeah, we were just having different conversations. It wasn't an argument. It was like actual conversation. I'm like, ooh, like
they still get heated every now and then because I think we're more passionate about what we want to do, more. But and definitely.
You also make sure that the people that you talk to are people that encourage you, because you can have. You can have a vision. You can have a clear vision. I'm not saying just in marriage, but in life. You may have a clear vision of how you want your portrait to be painted. And then you tell that to somebody and you're like, well, I want the sunset and I want mountains in the background and I want water in between. And somebody would say, well, maybe you shouldn't do water. Because
but they're not going to see your vision.
Yeah, so then you start questioning your vision and you're like, well, maybe I shouldn't do water. So then you change your whole landscape of your design for your portrait, and now your portrait is terrible.
Yeah, because it has different feelings were interjected into that portrait.
So be careful who you share your feelings with, your energy, who you speak to, because that could shift the way you feel, and that could create problems that you didn't even have to begin with. So I had to learn how to do that. I couldn't have conversations about fixing something with broken people. And that's what I was doing. I was talking to broken people and they were giving me their version of what I should do. But they had never even been in a situation like me, and they were deep down, not even like subjectively, they were hoping for us to fail. So
probably.
I think subconsciously, it wasn't something that they intentionally meant to do. Yeah. But I think subconsciously,
they had a lot of stuff going on in their head. So you do have to watch that, and you gotta understand. You gotta protect each other's. It's a joke amongst my friends, but it's true. You gotta check each other's soul swipes. You know what I mean? You have to. It is important because I can't. Mel's, you can see, Mel can talk. I can't control that part. But I won't allow anybody to disrespect her. And I won't let her disrespect anyone else. Yeah. And I protect that part of her. Because she's gonna say whatever she wants. Now I gotta stop her.
And I love what you said. Cooking with greens, that is so true. You got to protect it because we all are born with a gift, and we have something that we contribute to the world. And it's not. And if you find somebody that has something that can make your gift shine, and y'all complement one another, you can't have somebody else ruining that gift because it's going to change the whole landscape of what your purpose is on this earth. So
we had that conversation a lot. A couple of friends of mine had it. We talked about it because he's an artist, and he said that it affected his painting if he were to change it. It wasn't his art anymore.
It wasn't authentic. Yeah, and we all like people can smell when things aren't authentic. They're like, oh, something's off.
Yeah, they can't be. There's something, But if somebody that invested in you, you don't want to be around them anyway because they want to see you drop. So who cares?
So. Moving on to the next topic, which is, what is your definition of love?
My definition of love. Now, this is where it gets dark, so they're hoping there's no children in here. My definition of love, and my parents are watching, so I'll be good.
Your parents do it.
I don't want to think about that.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you, they do it. You're here. My parents did it at least 5 times.
Anyway, I love, when I think of love, when I think of her, sometimes she walks in a room and she don't even know. Sometimes I know she don't know I do this, but I just try to find, like, I imagine myself like being being invisible in a room sometime, and just to see what she does. The other day, she made up the bed and she like paid way more attention to my side. I don't know why she did it, but she paid more, and she made sure like the remotes and everything was on my side, and made sure when I got in the bed, like it was set the way I like it. I'm like, wow, this person pays that much detail to me, right? I said, that's love right there. Someone that they it's not just catering to you. They love you to the point where they want you to be comfortable at all times. They want you to be happy at all times. If you're doing something negative, they're letting you know, you know what? You need to check yourself. That's love. That's what you want. And Mel does that, and she has a great way of doing it. You know, she'll go, you know, you're doing too much. if I'm on the phone a little too loud, she's like, you know, she does one of those numbers. Like, that's enough. And she know I like to have fun, but when she cooks, she knows this one dish that I love. And my definition of love is definitely, if I had to put a term to it, it is melody. And that's a perfect name to the person that I'm married to, because I live through music. And that right there, like, she really, like, you know, somebody's like, oh, they complete you. Oh, she does. She is literally an extension.
That was better. Me. That was better than our wedding vows.
My wedding vows sucked.
That was pretty good.
My wedding vows were shit.
If I was a crier, I probably would cry.
No, not for real. It is definitely
that was good. Wow.
What do you mean?
That was.
I'm not trying to be sappy. My boys.
I know. I'm just
saying that you're my definition. If I can teach my kids, because they're gonna learn that. You know what I mean? You want your kids to be. You want your kids to be happy and have the things that you have, or, you know. I hope they find someone like their mom.
I hope so too, but you know, I hope so, because otherwise, my sisters and I, we will fight her.
We're not gonna fight her. You're gonna be too old. Get out of here.
Too old.
You're not fighting nobody. Really? Never mind. We'll discuss that later. What is your definition of love?
All right, so dang.
Boom. Top that shit.
I can't. So I went into like, so biblically the
Unprofessional opinion, baby.
Biblically, the definition of love is kind and is patient. That's in everybody's wedding vows. That's what the first thing the preacher says, and you looking at him like, oh, that's nice. Love is kind and love is patient, but okay, you ain't telling me nothing. Like, what do I need to do? Love is kind. Love is what is kindness and what is patience? Help
Why
me,
would
sir.
you do that?
Then,
oh my God!
And then in the dictionary it says, love is an intense feeling of deep affection. And it also says, if you use it as a verb, it says to feel a deep romantic or sexual attachment to someone. So then it goes deeper, and I'm like, that's not love. Like, to me, love is being with someone that you feel good about yourself when you go to sleep at night. Like, you don't have to change who you are. You love this person, and it's an extension of you. It's not hard. It's not hard to be in a relationship, because you can love them as easy as blinking your eyes. Like, it's something you can do without even thinking, without even
easy, like Sunday morning.
So, and love, it really can be like, you can, if you're around anything long enough, you can fall in love. No. And you can, and that's how addiction is formed, because you can fall in love with anything that you're around. So I feel like you should center yourself around people, the right people, that, follow the energies and follow people that pour into you, that show you love in return, that encourage you and that make you a better person, and that's who you're gonna fall in love with. Because if you have, like, you hear people say all the time, I don't love her, but I got love for her. Same shit. It's the same shit. So if you put that energy into loving that person as much as you do objects, as much as you love, your rims on your car and money, then you're going to love them if that's the right person.
Right, but that's what we talk about. It sucks because in our community, we love monetary. We pay more attention to monetary actions than the actions of our loved ones. Mm-hmm. So you got a disheveled relationship with people, but your money good. Well, can't take it with you. So, how do you operate like that? You know what I mean? I got so many friends that have like terrible relationships with their fathers. It didn't reflect on them because they're great fathers themselves, great men. But for some reason in our community, I hate it. We talked about that. I'd rather build a relationship, you know what I mean? Because money come and go, period.
And also, it's easier to get the money if you build a relationship and love with somebody that has the same goals that you have. Y'all gonna get the money, even if it ain't like Bill Gates money. It's gonna be enough money.
Who wants Bill Gates money?
It's gonna be enough money to be happy, to set a foundation for your children, and to move on to the next level. We're always coming up with something. We'll come up with a whole floor plan for building a treehouse one day, like this massive treehouse for us to live in.
You know what? We should do a treehouse in our backyard. That'll be dope. I didn't even think about that.
But we'll come up with something, and that doesn't
I didn't even think about that.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, but that's how we vibe. Like mentally, I can't sit still. Physically, he can't keep still. So we just like we vibe off of one another. Like I can come up with a good plan. And I'm gonna figure out how to get him to do it. And
you don't have to figure out. Maybe I just might. I'm 2 steps ahead of her anyway. So
he don't like to be told what to do. He's a supervisor by nature. Rashard means leader. So there's no way that you can get him to do something. I follow directions very well. Nah, you gotta kind of like I gotta punk. Not punk. I gotta bully him into doing that. I'm like, you the only one on this block that haven't built a treehouse yet. Yeah. Why is that?
Don't pin baby into a corner.
Build a treehouse. What is the problem? So that's how we feed off of one another. So to me, love is making sure that you nurture the right thing. You don't want to nurture a relationship or nurture something with somebody that's making you look like a fool, or somebody that's like treating you in ways where you going to bed at night and you worried about like do he love me back? Because you are going to develop love for that person, and it's hard to stop loving that person once you started loving them. So nurture the right thing, because when you nurture the right thing, you will fall in love with that thing, and over time, the love grows even stronger, and it feels different, and it transforms into something that you never even imagined it could turn into.
So where to close that out? I couldn't have wrote that better. That's amazing.
So moving on.
By the way, she wants a shot. BT Dubs, Drip Scent. That's my skin. I smelled amazing today.
Somebody asked if you were bronzer. Yeah. Nah, it's Drip Scent.
Nah, this is my skin.
I went and married a man that wore bronzer.
This is my skin. Drip Scent, people.
I taught my all-American younger brother how to catch a football. I would not marry a man that wore bronzer.
That explains why Chris couldn't catch a ball. No,
So the next topic is Are you loving to your full potential?
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you start there.
So, I say currently, I could do better. I could do better.
Are you?
I haven't.
Are you in? Like, is something bothering you?
No, nothing. You? I recently started back school, and when I start like tackling a new project, I get stressed out, and I kind of neglect our relationship because I'm like one of those overachiever parents. So I can never neglect parenting because I feel like that's my thing. Like that's what I was like called to do. That was before I went to school, before I found a career that I liked, and when our relationship wasn't the best, my parenting was like the one thing that I could say like I did what I could and I did a damn good job. So when I always take on a new challenge, which is now going back to school, and I have a very complicated class, and during quarantine and homeschooling and working from home, it gets stressful. So unfortunately, I don't think that currently I am living to my full potential. But I'm taking this time now to recharge because that's something you should do. You gotta check in with your spouse, check in with yourself first, and figure out what you need to be able to love to your full potential. Usually, when we need to recharge, we'll go out, or we'll go.
Well, we can't do that right now.
Yeah, we went to Philly and just stayed overnight in a hotel in Philly, and that's our way to like connect with one another. We'll find a show that we both like, but our schedules are so off that the show thing is really hard.
I like doing things during the week, like on Tuesday, but she don't like doing that.
Yeah, it's not.
I love it.
Usually, I would like to, but it's been hard to do that. So I'm finding that balance, and that's a thing. But I realized before where I couldn't be able to take, I wouldn't be able to self-reflect, and I wasn't able to take constructive criticism. So if I wasn't loving to my full potential, I couldn't even get the knowledge to be able to get there. Like I wouldn't even be able to hear what he had to say. So I've been hearing him throughout the week, and I know like okay, let me pick this up. That's why I wore red lipstick and some big hoop earrings today. I was like, you know, I'm being a runaway girl today because I got
might do the trick. I don't know.
I gotta
might take me back.
I gotta redeem myself.
Might take me back. Take me back. So, loving? Am I loving to my full potential? I don't think my relationships, I think I'm loving to my full potential. I think far as I think I need to love myself a little bit more. I give a lot and I neglect myself. I put a lot of things and people in front of what I need to do. So I think I'm lacking in the parent section, like because I'm here and I love them, but you know I get home and the trash is like 6 feet high, and and I should be like, let me love him first and then kick his ass, but I can't do it. So me and her, I think I try to. I mean, we usually talk during the day. I think I'm loving to my potential, but there's always something I can work on. It's like Kobe's jump shot. Always something you can work on. Always worked on it. So I'm progressing as I get older, and I'm learning new ways to love her or do things for her that I know she loves, and I'm working on being. Because I always pray, being a better person, man, and husband. I think those are 3 different things, which that's what we're going to talk about next week, too. Elements of marriage. Elements, because we're talking to someone, some family, and they said there was 3 phases. And there are phases, there's still phases after 17 years that I'm still learning, the adjustments. I'm learning Melody 2020, I'm learning my kids 2020,
and Rashard 2020.
I'm learning Rashard 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I am. I'm learning Rashard 2020. So I think if I had to put a number on it, I'm probably at 85%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably 85%, where I think I'm at that peak, where I'm learning. I'm also learning, like, this right here is new.
Mm-hmm.
Unprofessional opinion is new. It's 4 weeks old. So I'm learning that, and we enjoy doing this, and I'm trying to figure out a way how to. I just want it to be a conversation, to have fun, a group thing, because I don't think we talk enough, and everybody talk, but they ain't saying shit.
Yeah, or they not listening.
Oh,
or they not listening.
Catchphrase. Everybody talking, never mind. But yeah, so I think I'm 80%. What's your number?
For you?
What's for you?
For me, right now, I would say I'm at 65.
65.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want you guys to ask those questions. What can I do better? And trust me, it's like an eval. You're always going to see something on there that you need to improve.
Mm-hmm. But also ask yourself, what am I doing well? Because I'm always about reflecting on letting yourself know what you're doing well. Because,
but you can tend to gloat.
But the negative comments that you're giving yourself becomes your inner voice. So make sure you always give yourself that positivity, because you're never going to heal or grow if you're always, saying something negative to yourself. So make sure you follow up that you give yourself that constructive criticism, but make sure you always balance it out with something positive. Because I can almost guarantee that y'all have something positive to give.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. You always have some. I mean, even I know we struggle. Like, I'm not the neatest person in the world, so I'm working on that. That's my new thing. Working on being that. You know what I mean? So, what's this?
Yes. Build me up before you tear me down. I agree. Kiss me before you say F you. I agree.
Maybe I'll do it during.
Tell me my chicken sucks.
You know what?
After you give me a hug. And you know what? Hugging, it
reduces stress,
and it increases the quality of life, and it extends. Mm-hmm. It extends
it's
your
called
life.
synergy.
Yeah. So
because
even
you're hugging
I had to learn to be a hugger. Because hugging's not my thing.
Too long. It's been a minute. You better watch out.
Hugging's not my thing, but I had to learn and cuddle, and I had to learn how to do that. I like it, but I just don't like it for longer periods of time. But I had to learn to do it.
She gets hot.
I don't like when he leaves to go to work and doesn't kiss me in the morning. I think that's rude. So
have you seen? Never mind.
So
oh my God, have you seen what you do?
So we really enjoyed y'all. This conversation is like y'all really stuck with us, and y'all been this is